in the course of the last videos that I've done, talking about people whose lives have been influenced by their making the spiritual exercises. I talked about my friend, a young Jesuit who found great comfort in the spirituality of St Ignatius, his retreat, as he was dying. Talked about a lady who, through the spiritual exercises made twice in her life in different formats, had begun doing two things that were really extraordinary. I talked about a lady who, kind of with a mystic activism, made the exercises and began to help in a really powerful way the work of social justice. And I talked about a young man who ended up joining a seminary in Australia after the exercises guided him to that decision. And then two women who, through the exercises, began to work in a retreat ministry in a very wonderful way. So I'd like to now talk about somebody else who took a very different way of serving the Lord through the spiritual exercises. And this was a man who was in the first group of people that I directed through the 19th Annotation Retreat. And he took the retreat very seriously. It was a wonderful experience. He got to know the other people who were working, because we used to meet once every 2 weeks, I think. It was a wonderful group of people. He threw a party for us at the end of the exercises and gave each of us that image of St Ignatius that the monks put together there at St Andrew's Abbey in Vallermo. Wonderful little kind of a cartoon in ceramic of St Ignatius, a great gift that he gave to us. Over the years, the retreat, he remembered it. He remembered the importance of Ignatian spirituality for him, and became really convinced that it should be offered to more people. So one day when the local Jesuit parish was, kind of doing a great capital campaign and, building buildings and everything like that, he gave money so that a part of those buildings would be dedicated to Ignatian spirituality, and insisted with the Jesuits that they develop some program so that in that city, Ignatian spirituality would have a home and a place. And so that's what took place. He gave the money. They were able to do that, and able to put together an Ignatian spirituality kind of center or place for that. So his way of, embracing the spiritual exercises is very different, very practical, very helpful, but different from the other people. The spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius, his wisdom touches people in very wonderful ways, and it leads them to want to share that in equally wonderful ways. That's the wisdom of St. Ignatius for today.